Here we are, part 2. We got to question 9 3/4, and let's just get through these last few questions. So we were on the future, long-term and short-term future for South Africa. The short-term card was the Knight of Wands, and the long-term card for South Africa, this came up. The Seven of Swords. Things are not going to go as planned. Okay. Look at this card. This guy is creeping off in the middle of the quiet time. I'd say middle of the night, but it's a yellow sky. He's creeping off while they're all resting between battle and questing. He's creeping off with swords that they may need very desperately. So this card is telling you things aren't going to go according to plan. Be prepared. Make sure you have contingency plans. Make sure that South Africa has options. That's what she needs, options. After people have put a scupper on what was being planned. Now that could be a good thing, because if the plan is to enslave and to muzzle the populace, then maybe there's some people out there who've got a few good things up their sleeve. But long-term plan is the Seven of Swords. Things aren't going to go according to plan, and there are still people sneaking around, dubious characters looking for their own benefit. Or is it? You look at this card and you think, you know, maybe he's a rebel come from a different camp to take the nasty people's swords away so they are not weaponized. Oh, that would be great, wouldn't it? So, yes, that's the card that came up for the long term. The Seven of Swords, ideas being stolen, thoughts being stolen. Really goes in with the narrative at the moment, doesn't it? Then we had question 10 was about, I like this question, what is South Africa's hidden gift? And then the other questions were about the wealth and the quantum financial system and the global banking system returning to sovereignness. And what I liked here, what was really interesting, look at this. What is South Africa's hidden gift, the question says. This is the card that came up. The Nine of Swords. Now the Nine of Swords, as you can see very clearly from this lovely Rider-Waite depiction, is a person sitting in their bed, just racked with worry, fraught, full of anxiety and stress, can't sleep, having sleepless nights because of what's going on, okay? That's the normal thing. I'm thinking, how can that be South Africa's hidden gift? Having sleepless nights and being in constant stress and despair. But then I thought, no, let's look at the whole of it, you know, the reverse. Sometimes, you know, people like to work with a lot of reverse cards, and I like to work with the reverse meanings because it is all part of the card. It's like us, we have our light and dark. We are love light and dark light, and it can all work. And so with the Nine of Swords, you're talking about having trust and faith that this will pass, this too will pass, as it says. Nothing is constant, everything changes, and this too will pass, and tomorrow will be a new dawn. This is still kind of, it's the main message is trust and faith, even though it's because the main thing about the Nine of Swords is it's thought. You're having bad thoughts, and as we know, thought is energy. It's just and the mind. It's about controlling the mind, getting hold of the mind, and the red flowers on the quilt on the bed suggest a blossoming, you know, a fertile aspect of this to work through the mental state. And we know what it's like to really get hold of your mind and control your mind. And I think it's very, very important at the moment to have trust and faith in your ability to go again within, seek the peace and solace within, and make your piece of earth a paradise. So that was that. And then this question about the quantum financial system and the sovereignty I kind of bunched it all together, but this is what came up with the first lot. The Page of Cups. So there's new ideas, there's new flow, there's new creativity. Obstacles are being removed from the situation, which is really good news. Again, it's a page, it's a younger person, it's a page, and they are full of new energy, new ways of doing things. So I thought that was very positive. Obstacles being removed. It really echoes a lot of what these cards are saying. There is stuff going on that we do not know about, and nor should we, because we're not running governments, and even though we're holding the light, some things do have to be kept very close to the chest, because evil will stoop at nothing to keep its power. And then to clarify with the financial situation, I drew this card because I wanted two cards to clarify it. Justice, which I thought was fantastic, because this signifies that the systems have been looked at, the systems have been seen to be fair and just, and they will be implicated. They will happen because they are the way life should be. It's fairness and justice. And I really liked it. It's like, okay, this is all, it's all been analysed, and it will be brought in. Now, it's the number 11, so it's I would have to say 11 months. You're talking within the year, these systems really could start to be more and more evident in our lives and our countries and our societies. So I thought that was really lovely, very hopeful with that money situation. And a lot of people are talking about the Nasara and Gasara, and we're still kind of awaiting them to be implicated. So again, we can see it. It's tangible to us. Okay, the next question was, when is the end of masks coming? And this card came up again, which I thought was quite interesting. It was the Six of Swords again, the end of a cycle. Things are coming to an end, which is very hopeful. It's the number 6. It'd be great to think it was 6 weeks that this thing was rolling out, and not 6 months. But it's the end. It's moving away from troubled waters into smoother waters. And sometimes this card, because you see the woman in the boat kind of all covered up, it can be a time of feeling restricted. You have got all those swords in the boat kind of in front of her. So sometimes it can be a sign of feeling restricted, even though you're in a boat and you're sailing away from it and it's the end of a cycle. You might still feel the kind of restriction around you of maybe something you wanted to see or do or say or act upon. So and that's why every time you look at a card, something will jump out at you, and those 6 swords in front of that woman and the child are quite evident, even though they're sailing away. It kind of is an indication, even though you're sailing away from troubled waters, we always take what we have with us. We always take ourselves. We always take our inner soul and our old behaviours until we clear them out and we heal them and we let them go. And so the last question was about Mandela. It says, was Mandela a Freemason? Which is quite an interesting question. Always good to just pick a card and see what it says. And this is the card that came up, Temperance. Now, what does that say to you? Even if you've never ever seen a tarot card in your life, if you say, was Nelson Mandela a Freemason? Okay, Temperance. So balance. This card is about balance. This card is about looking. If I'm going to, this is what came. Okay, I'll just say what came. This card is about. It's achieving balance between the earthly realm and the spiritual realm. So what came to me was, it's about looking beyond what we see in this tangible earth form. It's about remembering the connection to the eternal divine love that we came from, the source that we came from. And what came to me about the question was whether Nelson Mandela was a Freemason or not. It's a kind of moot point, if you like. He played his part on earth. He did what he was wanting to do. He fulfilled his divine plan. He played his role, and now he is beyond. And this card of balance and kind of seeing that whole big picture, like zooming out and seeing the whole cosmic way of things. When I first saw that picture, I thought, no, he wasn't. And then I thought, actually, he might have just played the part. He might have gone along with it. He might have done some rituals because they wanted to rope him in. And once you do some of the rituals with these things, you know, it's very binding. So maybe he did a ritual, but maybe his heart wasn't in it. And maybe his mind was on this kind of, this universal consciousness and this beautiful angelic kind of realm with all this beauty. So, yeah. That's all the questions. There was 12. So it's the first time I have done this. Obviously next time we can maybe have 2 questions or whatever, then the videos can stay shorter. But I hope you've enjoyed it. I've had great fun doing it all. I've loved getting all my cards out and the Pandora cards and kind of clarifying and tuning in. So I'm very chuffed that I've done it, and I'll be really chuffed to get your feedback and what you think and how we can move and improve and join together and bring this light of ours in order to transform and transmute everything that's going on Earth, because we can do it. This is why we're here. We are here right now to do this. So let's all do it. Thank you so much for watching.